Okay, draft moving along here. The Giants select Abdul Carter. He is going to be going to this defensive line, and I'm going to get into a film study in just a second. So in about 30 seconds or so, you'll be watching film. But real quick, I just wanted to talk about my fit of my take on the fit with the player himself to the team. Again, there's the question of you have Kayvon Thibodeau, you have Brian Burns. Do you need Carter as well? Essentially, to me, this is just getting the best player available. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think that just going out and saying, you know what, we want him because he is good, that's a totally fine thing to do, and you'll figure out the fit later. Listen, if Thibodeau develops into what we thought he would be when he was drafted 5th overall, that's a good thing. Now you have 3 really good edge rushers, and you can play them all 700 snaps. But if that doesn't happen, then you're still okay. You still, you have Abdul Carter, and you have 2 really good edge rushers. So either way, it's a move I like. And to talk about why I like it so much, I have to talk about why I like the player so much. So let's just get into the film. So let's start off with this play, because let's just start off with a positive, because definitely one of the things that just can shock you when you watch him is the footwork and the explosiveness at the line. It does remind you, and this is too high of a praise. I'll start off right away by saying this is too high of praise to compare him to this caliber of player, but it reminds you a bit of TJ Watt, right? With how explosive he is at the line. Micah Parsons is another guy who's gotten this comparison, and again, who's to say he'll be those guys? But just, it's what it reminds you of. You see him going up one-on-one against a left tackle, watch him be able to shoot inside, and just immediately he's in position to tackle the quarterback. It's that footwork, right? I mean, we don't have to talk about his hands because he didn't have to use them on that play. He just stepped aside of the tackle and ultimately was able to make that play work. It's really impressive stuff there by Carter. Undoubtedly, he has the wins that can wow you. Now, we have to talk about as well, how consistently is he, right? And how versatile is he? What else does he have to his game? All those things matter. Well, let's look at something like this, where what's going to happen is he's going to be going up one-on-one against a left tackle right here. Watch how when this play begins. Again, he has that explosiveness, so you see him getting ready to go seemingly towards the top right-hand corner of the screen, get around that way, so tackle has to be in position to make this play work, and this is where he could set up probably his best move. He doesn't do it all the time because he can't do it all the time, but this is just, it's a deadly move. Watch the spin move. He's going to get through, and if it wasn't for a quick, play, then quick pass, then that might have been a sack. I actually think he might have dove to avoid a penalty. I could be wrong about that because he goes down weirdly at the end there. I don't think it was just he got pushed to the ground. I think he might. I don't know exactly what happened there, but that was weird. If it was him diving to avoid a penalty, that's incredible body control to do that. But either way, yeah, interesting stuff. But a very good play regardless. And then this too, where this guy gets his hands involved as well. Trust me, this is not just a player who is out there only running by guys or running speed moves, which is important. At the NFL level, I don't care how fast you are, they've seen it before, right? They might not be great at stopping it, but they've at least seen it before. You're not going to surprise them. They play in a league with TJ Watt, right? So they know how this stuff works. But on this play, it is going to be a little bit different than that. But watch what happens. When this play begins, again, you see the hands, and he still is using his speed, which, you should be doing, right? That's your best attribute. But you see that outside left hand, and you see, I almost called him Micah Parsons. There's the comparison. You see Carter's left hand itself and how he's essentially going to kind of just try and knock the offensive lineman's left hand out of the way. That's what he's able to do, and because of that, there's no way for the offensive lineman to push Carter. He gets straight to the quarterback for a sack. This stuff is just high level, and it's consistent. He is great when it comes to this aspect of football, which is a pretty important aspect to be great at. Now, we can talk some negatives. I do think sometimes his over-aggressiveness in speed rush can get him into trouble. For example, you see a tight end is going to be going up blocking him one-on-one, so on paper, a matchup you expect him to dominate. However, right here, he's again going for that speed rush immediately, and it's good. If this was a pass rush situation, the quarterback would be in trouble. The issue is this is a handoff, and because of that, when the ball is handed off there, despite Carter's great move, he essentially just took himself out of the play because he was already selling for pass rush. He is a pass rusher through and through. Now, again, it's not to say you can't have him out there for run defense, but just that is why he is out there, is for his pass rush. And I will also say, like, sometimes it gets him in trouble in pass rush, his over-reliance on speed. That is a thing that can happen, where if you can kind of figure out what move he's going with, which sometimes he can get predictable there, you can play off of it. This situation, watch as he is going to be going more towards the outside. Again, not getting his hands involved, trying to just run by the tackle. And it's not the worst play in the world. It's actually a decent play by him. But the tackle gets enough contact to push him just behind the quarterback just enough. Quarterback did have to step up a step or two to make sure he didn't get hit, and there was pressure coming elsewhere, so the play still worked. But ultimately, I think my concern is this stuff still worked in college, but at the NFL level, if guys are just a tick faster and a tick stronger, are you now getting pushed completely behind the quarterback and getting completely taken out of the play? That's I think the concern that is fair to have. Again, I'm not saying like, I admit it, we're nitpicking here, but I still think it's fair to say. So ultimately, in conclusion, like the pass rush stuff, while there maybe will be some growing pains. I wouldn't panic if he has an underwhelming like first 8 games to his career. I wouldn't panic if he had an underwhelming first season. I think that is possible. I do think that he will ultimately, there's just so much talent, he will ultimately figure all of this out. And again, to be 6'3", 250 and to move the way he does is just like crazy. Like that's just absurd. I do have some concerns about the run defense. I do think that there is a world where I'm like, that's the Micah Parsons thing, right? People have compared him to Micah Parsons. Parsons isn't the best run defender. Now, he's improved a lot on that. He's clearly made an effort to get better at that these past couple years, but like that's definitely something that was especially when he first entered the league, a real issue. Teams would purposely run the ball at Parsons as a strategy to not just be able to successfully run the ball, but then tire him out so he can't pass rush, right? So you have to at least be solid at that kind of thing. But again, there's just so much good here that while sometimes when a prospect's this good, people don't even want to talk about the negatives. I want to talk about the negatives, but ultimately the positives are just so strong. You can't help but just view him as a great prospect, which is how I view him. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Abdul Carter. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from y'all, and of course, as always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that video and want to hear more of my thoughts, well, for one thing, you can check out my movie channel. Yes, I have a movie channel. You can check the link in the description below. I do some fun things like some movie reviews, even some TV show reviews, tier list, fun things like that, so you can check that out. Also, make sure that you are subscribed and paying attention to this channel, as there will be plenty of draft content. I plan on making a video for every first round pick, many of the other picks throughout the draft, and also I will do recaps for each team after the draft is over. So I will eventually talk about every single pick from your favorite team. Be on the lookout for that, as it will be out this weekend. And also, if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on Twitter. I am at Jackson Kruger, or X, whatever you prefer to call it. But yeah, that's all I got. Thanks again for watching till the end of the video.